Good evening, Tarkovians. Okay, that was stupid. Let's not do that again. Anyway, this is a guide on how to use the flea market, basically aimed at new players. So, requirements for the flea market is you have to be level 5. I think that's the only requirement. So you want to sell something on there, right? And it's a complicated piece of shit. So let's say, for example, I want to sell this cord, which I do because I've got no use for it. You filter by. Right, do that again. You right click it and you click the filter by option, filter by item. And that'll show you all of the cords on the marketplace. Now right here you have everything that's being listed. Now these things you won't be able to buy for love nor money because this is really where the average is at. You see all these ones that are grayed out, those are ones that are being listed right now, and you can see stupid people are listing them for like 20 grand, when realistically you can get it for about, you can get at least 27 grand for it. So at the top here there is an option you really need to click to get rid of all the shit. So remove barter offerings. You need that on because otherwise you get people that are literally just trying to scam. I mean, some of these are actually like legitimate trades. You could make or lose profit on the margins here, but usually it's something like, oh well, I want this key that's only vendors for 3 grand, but you can sell it for 3 million. You know, it's usually that sort of stuff. So you want to click on that cog, and you want to remove barter offerings. Now you get like legitimately what it looks like. Now to post an offer, you can only post 3 at a time, unless you get your rating up. I think it's every 10 ratings you get an extra option. So you go to add offer, you find what you want to add, for example the cord, and you click it. Now you'll get the minimum offer, you get the average estimate and the max. Now I wouldn't really pay much attention to this because the average estimate right there can be heavily skewed by an idiot. For example, see, I'm sorting by price here, so this is the lowest it's selling for. Change that, some idiot's got it in for 189.99. That's not going to sell, but it fucks with the average estimate. It's a little bit accurate, as you can see. 22 is a good estimate, but the problem is it just calculates all of those listings and divides it by the total. It's not the best thing to go by for certain items. Now, if you wanted to add 2 of an item, for example, say I've got 2 T-plugs here and I want to sell that. You click auto select similar at the top there, and it adds both of them. But this will be price per one item. So if I wanted 10 grand for one of those, 20 grand for both of them, you just put 10 grand in here. Right, so let's go back to the cord. We just want the cord sold. So I'm going to list it for, let's refresh to get a reasonable amount. All the cheap ones will be sold, hopefully. Oh, for God's sake. Tarkov, why you do this to me? And the servers are taking a gigantic shit. Sounds about right. Apparently there's no items on the flea market. Forget it. I can sell it for around 25 to 23. There we go. So all of those ones got bought out. The only ones left are the 27 grand ones. So you can get around 25 grand for this easy. So you click the little button there, which adds an item. Now you can choose for currency or an item for exchange value, but that's a barter. Most people don't bother with barters, as I've said, because, well, it's really, you know, most times someone's trying to troll you. You know, they're trying to scam you out of an item, not worth it. You can choose whether you want it in rubles, USD, euros. This is something to keep an eye on. If you don't filter by price and someone says, oh, well, there's 20 grand there, and that's the euro symbol, you just shit out of it 2 million. So, get 25 grand for this cord, thereabouts. You click place offer. Place offer. Now there used to be, which I'm thankful they removed it, a priority thing, which thank God that's gone. So this will take a fee, 782 rubles, but it'll also take a cut after sale. So we'll place that offer and see if that sells. Now another thing I'd like to show, whilst that's taking its time selling, for example, is, right, say I want a scope for Say I want some items for this AK. Modifications. You right click, link search, and that'll give you everything that can possibly go on that AK as it is. Now you can see there's only iron sights, and that's because I don't have a mount already on the actual gun. So if I wanted to change it, I'd go to receivers and slides, and then for example the Bastion, you can right click and link search that, and this will show you the sights you can put on the Bastion. Bastion goes on the AK, this goes on the Bastion. That way you can find a sight for every gun. Also, something worth mentioning is these offers won't go live for about a minute, so it takes a little while. Right, so now another thing you can do is if you buy a lot of items, for example, let's have a look at a barter worth trading for. I think Peacekeeper has one, which is like 2 hard drives and 3 search by barters. I believe it's a file. There. 2 RAM, 3 hard drives. 3 hard drives for around 30k if you can get them for 10k a piece. Quite good. RAM's quite cheap. So let's see if it's worth getting this one. Let's have a look at the hard drives. Damaged hard drives. Yep, you can get them between 15 and 10k. So if you're getting them for 15, it's probably not worth it. If you're getting them for 10, it is. Now this is what you do. Right click, add to wish list. Same with the RAM. 15k a pop. So it might not be worth it to do this barter, but if you put them on your wish list and you just look through like these, like this, you can snag a few cheap ones, and then the barter becomes so much more worth it. That's what I would do anyway. Anything you need to keep an eye on. For example, say if you wanted to snipe cheap GPUs, but you don't want to have to type in graphics to get to it here, you right click. Why is that showing a barter? Ah, that bastard. What he's doing is he's bartering, but just for money. Separate, 3 separate money items. So it's technically not a barter, but it comes up as a barter. Right, but for example, if I wanted that, I would just add to wish list. And there we go. I can quickly keep an eye on what's being sold there. So if I needed, see, he's going to be selling 200 graphics cards for 6. 6 graphics cards for 200,000. Now that's going to be gone. There's no chance of getting even one of those, but you can try. And that's what the wish list is mainly for. Now I don't want any of these on my wish list. You want to remove them? Just do this. Right click, remove from wish list. And that power cord might take a little while to sell, because if we filter by and browse, there's still people undercutting massively for no reason. 250, 225. Might take a little while to sell. They will sell. So unless you need a quick sale, I would always go by what's moving. So for example, this 27,000 one's pretty much been there. All it takes is for 2, 3, 4 people in the world to come through and need about 4 or 5 power cords, and it just clears all of this out. For example, these ones 25, they're going live, so we're in the range there. Right, so for example, let's go for another one. I want to sell these T-plugs because I don't have any use for them. Right click, filter by, 9 grand a piece. You can get them for 9 grand. Auto select T-plug, then you put in the 9 grand. Remember, this is price for 1, then you place add offer. Now if you look at the offers, this isn't going live for a minute. So that's how you use the flea market. You're going to get much better value for your items, certainly most of them. For example, if we go to therapist and we look at how much, what's a good duct tape there, that's 1,874. But if you go to the flea market and look at duct tape, because it's a barter for, it's either the sick case or the Red Rebel, 9 grand, 10 grand. So you're making 10 times, now, well, not 10 times, 5 times your money by just selling on the flea market. So if you go into a scav raid and fill your pockets with duct tape, you know, you're getting around 10 grand a slot. Yeah, that's basically all you really need to know for the flea market. See if there's anything I forgot. Trading, flea market. So for example, you can search by merchant rating and things like this, but I wouldn't bother. Keep it price, low to high, and that's it. Shows your money, your score. You can change, like, can you? No, I think they plan to add different, you know, like viewing bits, but that's it. You can also click this thing to refresh that little item there to refresh it all. Has it sold? T-shaped plugs and the power cord have sold. There we go. We got 2,500 for the power cord and 1,900 piece. Easy money. So that's how to use the flea market effectively, quickly. And this guide is aimed at new players. If you're a veteran of the flea market, you already know this. You don't need to watch this video, which I probably should have stipulated at the front, but you've watched it now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.